All right, welcome to another XP Projects. Did you know there's a scavenger hunt at Lagoon? We're gonna go check it out. Join us today on the XP Project. All right, everybody, so today we're gonna do this scavenger hunt at Lagoon. I wanna start this video out by saying there are spoilers. Spoilers. We're gonna solve each of these clues for the scavenger hunt. So if you wanna do this on your own, just watch where the first one is, but we're gonna spoil all the other ones and tell you where they're at. So I'm gonna put that in the title as well, but if you wanna get spoiled, don't watch this, but we're gonna go ahead and start. So the first scavenger hunt clue is at the Lagoon's gas and service station. That's like the kids' car ride. So we're gonna go over and check that out, and then we're gonna go through this whole scavenger hunt. We're gonna try to get through it all in one day, but if we don't, we'll do it in a two-parter, but I think we can probably get through it in one day. This is our first time doing this, so we might get stuck, but I think we can maybe go to Google or something if we need to, but we're gonna try not to look up anything online, just figure it out ourselves, and we're gonna get this going. All right, so clue number one is telling us, if you want the next clue, look here by the gate. This tower wants to eat you. It thinks you taste great. So this one's like just absolutely obvious. It's cannibal. It's the only ride or attraction here that has anything to do with eating other people. So we are 90% sure that it's cannibal. I'm not even concerned. So we're gonna head over to cannibal right now. All right, so I tout myself as like a pretty big Lagoon guy. I actually didn't know this scavenger hunt existed until like last year. I was getting in line for cannibal and I see this little thing. That's kind of why I knew that this one was over here. And I was like, oh man, this is awesome. So we're getting over to the cannibal right now. Let's go check it out. All right, so this clue is number 2. It says, you're off on an epic adventure, diving into the deep blue sea. Up and down and in circles you go. It seems a little fishy. So I am thinking
Bambora.
Yeah, Bambora is definitely fish and sea. Tidal wave is a boat, but there's not really any fish on tidal wave though. Oh, Odyssey.
Oh.
It could be Odyssey. So let's go over.
Up and down.
We'll go over to just the kids area because it's got to be Bambora or Odyssey. Those are the only two that would have to do with fish. All right, let's go over there. All right, so as we were walking by to go over to Bambora, we hit Odyssey. This was definitely, I didn't even think about that because it said up and down. So let's check what the next clue is. This is number 3. All right, so clue number 3 says, one can walk over me or one can float under, though in times of war, one can burn me asunder. So that last one's very telling. It's got to be some kind of like something that you'd like ram like ram into a door or something like that. So like it's got to be the log ride, even though it doesn't exist. So we're gonna head back to where the log ride was. Hopefully, since the log ride's not there, it's not gone, but we're just gonna kind of look around the log ride. All right, so we've been kind of looking around where the old entrance to the log ride was. I'm not seeing anything. Let's go back over to the other side where the little bridge is, because it did say go over and under something that might mean the bridge. So let's go over there. All right, it's on the bridge. Let's go check the next clue. All right, so clue number 4 is, now don't remain stationary. There's so much to be explored. So keep on chugging ahead to the next stop, all aboard. It's a train. There's only one train here, so that's gonna be a pretty easy one. The train kind of does go along a lot of different routes though, so I'm not sure exactly where it's gonna be, but let's head up to the train. So one thing to mention, those little clues that we're seeing, the orange letters, when you put those all together at the end, it's supposed to make a sentence. So we'll compose that all together at the end, but that's why some of the letters are orange. So we're just walking up to the train right now. We're way back in Pioneer Village, so it's gonna take us a minute to get back up there. All right, so there was nothing on the track over by the cave that you go in. So we're approaching the building right now. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Okay, let's move on to our next clue. All right, so clue number 5. If you want to impress, but all your pickup lines are wrong, make your way here where you'll need to come on strong.
I know what it is.
You do know what it is? What do you think it is?
The hammer game.
Oh, so Jay's saying he thinks it's the hammer game. Like they had an old hammer game, kind of like the old carnival hammer games. It could be, no, it wouldn't be Wicked. Come on, Strong. Yeah, it's got to be that, because if you're trying to impress by being strong. Oh, or it could be the hang thing over here to try to be strong. We'll go check out both those. I think it might be the hang thing, but Jay's thinking it might be that other one. So we'll go over and check out the hang thing first, and then we'll go up to the other side. All right, so this scavenger hunt's taking a little bit longer than we thought. So it's gonna be multiple days of filming, but that's okay. So it was not the next clue was not the hang game. That's kind of what I thought it was. Jay's saying it's where the old, it used to be those like you hammer the thing and it shows your strength. That's the only thing in the park that we can think of that has strength. So we're approaching that now. This actually is a cornhole toss game now. So we're just gonna kind of look around here, and I am seeing a sign right there. Okay, let's go check it out. All right, so clue number 6 says, grab your partner, swing them around. If you rode this for a century, you'd be begging for the ground. It's the century swings. All right, so we're kind of on the north side of the park, so we're gonna head over to the century swings. It's gotta be that. It's the only thing that has century in it and swings, so let's go over there. All right, so the more I'm sitting and thinking about this, this scavenger hunt probably should be updated, because there's 2 so far of things that are either gone or have been gone for a while. So with the log ride, so it wasn't the hang thing that we thought it was. It was over at the spot where you used to like put the hammer on the thing and it would go up like at the old carnivals. But that's probably one that could change, because I don't know how people are gonna know that this is the case unless you just knew that it was there from before. All right, so the one nice thing about today versus the first day of filming for this scavenger hunt, it's not like deathly hot today. We were pushing like 100 the day that we were here last week, and I'd say we're probably in the like low to mid 90s, which is still bad. But out in Utah, it's so dry out here, there's not any humidity at all. So when it's hot, it's really not like as hot as you'd think. So that's making it a lot better. I love this view of the tidal wave and the swings. It just looks so great. So let's go over and we're gonna see the, oh, I see the next clue. Let's go get it. All right, so next clue is angry cats hiss and babies shake rattles. Your next clue's on the railing where it's the river you'll battle. It's Rattlesnake Rapids. These are actually a lot easier than I thought they were gonna be, so we'll head back to the rapids. We're gonna ride the swings real quick first though. Off to Rattlesnake Rapids we go. You know, I will say this, I don't know if it's been like this every year. I'm kind of trying to remember, but I'm telling you, if you don't mind the heat, which I don't, I mean, I wear jeans and a t-shirt all summer long. Heat just doesn't bother me. I don't get hot. I do get cold, but I don't get hot. If heat doesn't bother you, this month is the best time to come out here, because yesterday I was out here, hardly like any lines at all. And today has just been super clear as well. People just don't want to be out in the heat, so if you're okay braving that, you got to come out and do it. You know, while I'm back here, I just had to get a picture of this train here. They've actually put the wood all the way back here now too. I know this isn't a construction video, but it's just interesting because they just put that up. So again, verifying that something's got to be going there where that old log ride is. And it's so interesting because it's like, when I walk back here, it's like, I just love this little land where Rattlesnake Rapids is, but it's so like out of the way because it's just all the way to the very back. But I just keep thinking to myself, man, if they just throw another ride back here, it would almost be like its own little like land, you know? So that's just my thoughts on it, but. All right, so the next clue was right over there by the little tunnel that you go through on Rattlesnake. So here's our clue. This is clue number 8. Bueller took a day off and caveman invented me. I'll raise you up high for all the world to see. Okay, this one I do not know. So cavemen invented me. The wheel? Oh, it's got to be the wheel. It literally is the name of what it is. All right, we're gonna go check that out. Could be the rocket maybe, but cavemen didn't really invent rockets, so that doesn't really make a lot of sense. So we'll go over to the wheel, which is back on the other side of the park now. All right, and the river is almost completely dry now. That actually happened a lot faster than I thought it was going to. You know, another thing I got thinking about is this is definitely going to be something I'm not going to finish in 1 or 2 days. This is my second day doing it now, and we're only on clue number 8, and I think there's like, I don't even know how many there are, but I think there's like 25 or something. It's more just because like you got to go back and forth to the park. It's not something where I can just like zip to the next land. Like, we're completely on the opposite side of where I think the next clue is. So this will be one video, but it's going to take me multiple days to probably do this, just because just the walking alone is going to take that much time. All right, we're back up to the other side. I got a little sidetracked there, stopped and watched the Smoke and Mirror show again. That's the 3rd time seeing that now. It's just such a good show. I love stopping and, you know, on a hot day, sit down, relax for a minute, watch a show. So we are almost to the wheel, which I'm pretty certain that that's going to be there. So let's check out what the next clue is. All right, we're approaching it. I can see it already. Let's check this out. You know, there's it's funny, while we're here for this clue, this is something I'm embarrassed to say, but there's 2 rides on here out here at this park that I really do not like. The first one is the Sky Ride. I'm not a big fan of it. I just don't feel secure in that thing. And I mean, I'll go on Cannibal. I'm not scared of that because I'm in, you know. But Sky Ride's just one I'm just not a big fan of. And the Wheel is number 2. Other than that, I'll ride on any ride over and over and over. I did go on the Wheel this year for the first time in a long time. And if you watch that video, you can kind of tell, like, I'm a little uneasy, like, while I'm up there. And it's funny because, I mean, kids go on that ride. It's a super safe ride and everything. I just, for some reason, when that thing stops at the top, I get a little queasy. So those are the 2 rides that I'm not like a big fan of. But it's just funny, like, whenever I like do content like this, I'm like, oh, should I go on the Wheel while I'm doing the content? And I'm like, nah, I think I'm good today. All right, so this one's actually pretty creative. So clue number 9 coming at you. It's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's people up high. Get on from the south, and the next clue you'll spy. Clearly the Sky Ride, which is funny because I was just talking about how I hate that ride, but it's clearly the south side because there's no other ride that you go up high on that has a north and south side. So it's got to be the Sky Ride. So it's going to be all the way to the other side of the park. Now, they've done a good job at keeping you kind of going back and forth on these. So we'll go over and check that out now. All right, so the one nice thing about this is that you're going to get a ton of exercise doing the scavenger hunt. So, you know, if you're trying to put off a few pounds, then come out here and do this, because it's really going to send you kind of back and forth. So we are approaching the south side Sky Ride loading station right now, which I'm positive that that's what it's going to be. So let's go see what the next clue is. All right, so clue number 10. I can't believe we're already on 10. If you don't like spinning, this ride will make you frown. Over and over in circles you'll go. Hold on when you're upside down. Okay, so spin rides. Actually, it could be this one that we're looking at right now, the Rocco plane. This one right here. It actually could be that one, so we're gonna look real quick. Part of me is almost kind of thinking Screamer. Is that what you were thinking? Or the airplane one. Yeah, so I'm thinking Screamer. Yeah, there's not one by the Rocco planes. So we'll head back up that way. I'm thinking it's Screamer, but Jay's kind of thinking it might be the airplane one that goes up and down and spinning. So we'll head up that direction because they're both that way. All right, so we're heading over to the air race where the planes are right now. Let's go see how that is. It's actually supposed to rain here in like the next like half hour. So that can actually make this video kind of interesting, because I actually wouldn't mind doing the scavenger hunt while it's raining, because at least it'll cool down a little bit. So that'd be nice. It is, I see it. Oh, Jay says he sees it. Well, I'm glad we didn't walk over to Screamer first, because that would have been a way longer walk. So, all right, let's go see what it is. We are approaching it now. Where's that? Oh, right here. All right, right in front. Let's go check it out.
No, that's nice.
All right, well, that is a major glitch in the matrix here. So there is a clue at the air race, but it's clue number 19. We're on clue number 11. That's kind of bad, because a lot of people are going to go there thinking it's the next one, but it's not. So, all right, let's head back up to Screamer then. All right, so take 2. We're at the actual clue now. Clue number 11. All right, here's the clue. For this little hunt, where pride is the prize, you'll find the next clue at this swing where one flies. Swing, sky coaster. I bet it's the sky coaster. That one's actually not a terrible walk. So we're gonna go check that out right now and we'll see if that's it. There it is right there, we're almost to it. I mean, I'm thinking it's gotta be this one because there's not any other things that you're gonna swing like that necessarily, except for the swings, but there was already a clue on them, so that wouldn't really be anything else. This is really the only like rope swing type ride, so we're approaching it now. Let's see if it's over here. All right, so that clue was right next to the sky coaster. That was great. So right as I read this clue, I immediately knew what it was. Jay doesn't know yet, but all right, so here's the clue. A knight in shining armor, a damsel in distress. This loops this monster's guarding will help your hunt progress. It's the Colossus. Dragons are guarding the damsel in distress to the Colossus, and it's really the only ride with loops on it. So that one was pretty easy. I'm honestly killing this, so I'm feeling pretty good about it. There's not one that stumped me so far. So back to the south side. All right, I know we're doing a scavenger hunt and I get that, but Wicked is a complete walk-on right now. This is like the slowest I've seen the park in a long time, so I'm going on Wicked. I love this view right here from up at Wicked because there's so many rides you can see. I'm not gonna skip my favorite ride on a walk-on day. Yeah! All right, so we have walked all around Colossus and I am not seeing this anywhere, so I hope we're not hitting a situation where they like took it down or something, but we're still gonna just keep looking. It might be over on this metal fencing that's over on the other side, so let's go over to that side and see if anything shows up. All right, so we're hitting a little snag here. This is gonna start getting a little complicated. So there is no number 13. I did a little research online, the little research I can find, because a lot of people don't even know about this, but there is not a number 13. So in XP Project fashion, we're gonna make it work. So I looked up online and here is the next clue that will take us to 13. But there's also another problem with this as well, because I know what the answer to this one is, and that ride doesn't exist anymore. So clue number 13, bear with us, is slow down. Children at play. Even the smallest can drive here. The kids bump their cars all about. Go check the blue fence that's near. It's the bumper car, the kids' bumper cars. It's not there anymore. But I do know that there is a clue by those bathrooms because I've seen it before. So we're gonna head over there. But I think that honestly, like Lagoon probably would want to update this scavenger hunt. It would probably take like a day to update it and just put them at like the new rides, and then that way they could like put one out at Primordial and stuff. But it's still fun, still bring your kids out, but just know that you might have to go to Google and see a few things. All right, so I'm sorry that I'm always boring you guys with crazy stories. So we are right here across, look across here from the old kids bumper cars. So the adult bumper cars that we rode actually last week, there was a kids one. It was only for little kids. A fire broke out here and burned down, and this wasn't even that long ago, about 2 years ago. A fire broke out here, burned down the bumper car building and the candy store. It was a cute little candy store on that corner right when you walk in by the waterfall. And they do have a thing up saying that it seems like it's going to be repaired with the logo and everything. There's not really like an ETA on that, but this is the clue right behind us. So this is clue number 14, so let's read it. Monsters come in many forms, with fangs and capes and frights. This monster lives like royalty, but be careful, he bites. So initially I'm thinking bat, but lives like royalty, it could be Terror Ride because the Dracula bites. Dracula's Castle. We're gonna go over to Dracula's Castle because it's really close, and then we'll go back to the bat if it's not the case, because it has to be one of those. Those are the only two rides of something that bites. All right, so it was Dracula's Castle. I was wrong on that one, but Jay's way off on the next one. So it was Dracula's Castle, not bat, which makes sense because royalty, the bat, it's just a regular bat. We knew it was one of the bats. All right, so here's clue number 15. This hairy little friend is not so small anymore. It guards one of the rides, standing on 8 legs, not 4. Sorry, I kind of pissed her for a minute. It's Spider. Jay right off is like, oh, I think it's Puff the Magic Dragon. And I'm like, well, he doesn't have 8 legs and he's not hairy, so I know it's not that one. All right, so we're gonna head back down to Spider. We were like just there like 5 minutes ago, so we'll head back down that direction. So while I'm walking, I got a genius business idea for anybody that wants to pursue this. So make a candle and you call it like amusement park, or I mean, you could do one for like Disney or Lagoon. And like as the candle burns, it does like different levels of smell. So like 1 minute it's like popcorn. Like if you did like a Disney one, it would be like popcorn, and then like a churro smell, and then like Main Street sweet smell, and then like Pirates of the Caribbean water smell, or things like that. And like as the candle gets lower, it has different smells. That'd be so cool. Man, there is no better photo op in the park than this big spider. It's just such, when that came in, everyone was like, oh, and actually the clue's right here, so let's go check it out. All right, so we are on, I can't believe we're this far, honestly. We are on clue 16. Here it goes. If you're looking for a drink, I'm a little, short, and stout. While I won't quench your thirst, I will spin you about. What is it? No, but it spins you. It's got to be a ride. You know, when I first read that, I just thought it was the beer garden because it talks about drink and stout.
Maybe a water ride.
Teacups. It's the teacups. Okay, we're gonna go over there. We actually might get on the teacups, so let's go over there. This is what I love about these days. It's like everything's like a complete walk-on. So it's like if we're like, oh, let's go over on that one, like we just know we're not even gonna have to wait for it. So makes it really nice. There's a peacock up by the beer gardens. I'm like, I look at Jay and I'm like, what's that peacock doing in this part of town? Usually they don't stray too far away from Pioneer Village, so it's actually a little surprised to see that guy up here. Maybe he smelled some food or something. So I gotta say, I was just saying to Jay, I remember at the end of last year, so it was like the middle of October, I looked over to him and I'm like, dude, this is done. I'm like, there's never gonna be like a slow day ever at Lagoon, because Frighteners is crazy. Like, it's busy every night and it's packed and the lines are so long. But today is just so good, and I'm in such a good mood today because we're walking on every ride we go on, and it's just so nice and slow, and I just love it out here. So yeah, October's never gonna be slow again, I know that. But during the summer, there's still gonna be slow days. Okay, we're approaching the teacups. Let's go see. This is like a little bit of an area, so could be anywhere around here. There's a whole little circle about here. Jay's looking over on the other side right now. Not seeing anything yet. I love this ride. Oh, I just saw it. It's right behind you. All right, here it is. Let's read the next clue. All right, clue number 17. You'll find detectable food and drink, or I read that wrong. You'll find delectable food and drink in this special garden. The next clue is at the entrance, very close to the warden. It's the beer garden. There's no other option, because there's nowhere else that has the best food. Here at Lagoon, the beer garden kind of is the best food, and it's a little off topic, but we'll talk about it. It's actually like almost like restaurant style food, whereas everything else here is kind of carnival style. You know, everything's mostly just like burgers, chicken nuggets, things like that, chicken strips, fries, pizza. But the beer garden actually does have like a restaurant style menu, and they've got a really good selection of drinks and everything. They are open year round also, so you can come here even during the winter time. They just close off the rest of the park. But it's great. I'm not like a huge foodie, just to be honest with you guys. I have like a really restrictive diet, and so like I don't really eat a ton of snacks and stuff at the parks, and I don't usually like eat at a lot of the big fancy restaurants. Like there are a few restaurants I can't not eat at, like Bengal Barbecue at Disney is one of my favorite. But the beer garden really is good. I've had it and it's amazing. And like I said, if you're kind of missing Lagoon during the off season, it's a great time to come. All right, so I'm sorry that I'm just ranting a lot today, but it's hot. I've been walking like a ton and I'm ranting. I would just love for them to put a train, not like this train, that actually like goes around the park, so that like when you're doing a scavenger hunt like this, you can like get on the train, go to the other side. Like that's what I love about like at Disneyland, because you've got like, oh, I need to get over to New Orleans Square, well, I'll hop on at Tomorrowland or whatever. I'd love if they did that. That would just be so cool. All right, so we're getting close to the beer garden here. We're gonna see if we can find the clue. I don't see anything. Oh, but it says by the entrance though, so it might be by the entrance of the food area. All right, so we are now at 18. It is head over to the runway. The race takes to the sky. This hunt will not take off if you just plain do not try. It's the planes. We're gonna go back over there. We saw that one earlier and we'll head that way. You know, we're walking back through the kids area to head over to the planes ride. And I think it's called Air Race. It's kind of a newer ride, so I don't like that ride all that much because it makes me super dizzy. So I actually forgot the name of it for a minute. But when you're coming from like the stage where the shows are, and then you go kind of towards the kids area, this is just something that I just remember from being a kid, is that like when you sniff in, there's the food carts right, all the food stands right off to your left, and then you've got Laguna Beach straight ahead, and then you've got the train to your right, and there's like a mix between like the chlorine, the train smell, and the food stations. And it's just like the best smell, and it just like reminds me from when I was a kid. It probably doesn't even smell that good, but I just always think about that when I walk in here. All right, so we're almost to the next clue. I wanted to mention the well. Look at him. Oh, it's so great. The well's working again. Because I will tell you, my water video that I did, if he would have been working on that one, I would have been like 10 times more drenched, because he's the one like right at the low spot. So kind of like wherever you're at, he's gonna spray you. But good to see that working again. And again, like I said, a great shout out and just a thanks to all the engineers that work on these rides, because Lagoon rides are not down for very long and they're fixed. It's just, we don't have a lot of broken down rides. All right, so we're gonna go read the next clue and see what it is. All right, it's overcast, but I'm sweating, so I gotta kind of just wipe off for a second here. It's getting hot. We're hitting like 101 today, so even though it's overcast, it's still super hot. All right, so 19. Now head fast to the village. It's the end of the street you seek. These phones might drop your call, but give them a break. They're antiques. This is the phone station in Pioneer Village. It's the very back part of the park. We're gonna walk all the way to the very back. I think that's the last clue, because it said this is the end of the road that you'll seek. Oh my gosh. They have already started putting up the entrances to the haunted houses. That's awesome. We just barely walked by here. All right, so we're gonna head back to the phone booth. That just pumps me up so much to see those haunted houses coming up. They're gonna be so good. They do a little more to them every year. And you know, when COVID hit, it just was kind of depressing, because I kind of thought the Frightmare situation might go away, but it's just great that it's gonna be back in full swing this year, and I'm just really excited for it. There usually is about 4 haunted houses. That could change, you know, just because they do change things a little bit each year, but it is the busiest time of the year, so just be ready for lines, but it is the best time of the year. All right, so since it's a really slow day, I wanted to show you guys this. So if you look right here, so this is actually, if we look back behind us here, that would be basically just the bat, if you could see through the trees right there. So this is actually a back entrance to Pioneer Village. There's always gonna be a ton of peacocks. See, here's a guy hanging out right here. Oh, look, they've got the little babies. Look at the little baby peacocks. Don't bother these guys, but they're just so cute. Look at them. I love seeing those. But this is a back entrance, and these lights are on at nights, like during like the when, I mean, it's light out until 9 o'clock during the summer, 9 or 10. So but then the church is right here, the one that I did my did you know video on. So this will take you right into Pioneer Village, and I actually like this entrance better because it's not as busy. The road that goes up kind of straight down from Rattlesnake Rapids tends to get a little congested at times. So this is, but like, look at this right now. Pioneer Village is just dead slow right now. And it's just great. They're actually probably getting ready to close this here in just a minute. So we're gonna hop over to that last clue and let's check it out. I am so happy today. This is just the best day ever at Lagoon. There is nobody in Pioneer Village, and this is my favorite part of the park. We are the only ones walking in here right now. And it feels like we're in the Old West, like there's nobody here. This is so cool. Look at this, I'm looking right now, there's just not a soul back here. Oh man, this is just, I don't know what good deeds I did, but today has just been gifting me all day long. I'm in such a good mood. All right, so I'll give a little pro tip, a summer pro tip. There's a fresh salad stand right when you get into Lagoon's Pioneer Village, and they always have these massive air conditioning units shooting air down into the 2 doors. And so if you're like dying of heat, I just stood in there, you kind of put your hat up there, get a little cold air into it, stand there for a couple minutes, it'll cool you down. Pro tip, that one's for free. All right, so when you get back here, it's almost like you're like not in an amusement park anymore, because it's all just like houses. And it just looks really cool. So we're gonna head back here, and I see the last clue. We made it, everybody. We made it to the last clue. All right, so no better way to end the scavenger hunt. It's quiet, the sun's going down, it's getting a little cooler, it might even rain a little bit, it's still hot as all get up. But we are at clue number 20, and it says, "Phew, you made it. Now time to race back. My tiny drivers could use a little help staying on the track." And that puts you right back to number 1. It says, "This sign scavenger hunt links 20 signs together in a loop with clues to the next one. Collect the highlighted words and put them in order to solve the final riddle." So if you know what the final riddle said, put it down in the comments. Thanks for joining us on the scavenger hunt and the XP project.